You ever have one of those days when you realize you're not just a regular person in a regular place? Well, let me tell you, I sure did. Imagine this, I'm at my nephew's graduation feeling proud watching my family celebrate when suddenly I get this notification: security camera alert, chainsaws in action. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm 200 meters away, oblivious to the world, and they're tearing down my family's century-old oak trees. My trees. The ones that survived the Civil War. The ones my grandfather planted. Cut down like they were just some inconvenient yard decoration. 4 oaks worth $85,000 gone just like that. All because some suburban tyrant wanted a better view for her breakfast nook. That's right, Brenda Thornfield, the HOA president, tennis-obsessed millionaire in all white, gave the order. I'm in shock, still reeling from the call, when I realize I own the one road out of her precious little gated community. She needs my land to get anywhere. So guess what I'm about to do? Lock that gate up tight. Time to teach Brenda a lesson she'll never forget. Now, I've got a lot of history with this property. My grandfather, a man of vision, bought this plot back in the 20s. I inherited it a few months ago, a sprawling 12-acre paradise in rural Georgia, a farmhouse, rolling hills, and those 4 majestic oaks. It seemed like a dream. What I didn't know was that this inheritance also came with a front-row seat to suburban madness. Here's where it gets interesting. Back in 1943, my grandfather made a deal, a road easement, to connect his property to the outside world, which eventually became Thornfield Estates, where the HOA presidents and their million-dollar mountain views live. And here's the kicker. They may technically have the right to use the road, but guess what? I own every inch of it, every pothole, every yellow line, and every no-outlet sign. That's my road. Her view may have been blocked, but my road was still standing in her way. So back to my trees. The next morning, I go down to survey the damage. The scent of diesel and sawdust fills the air, but nothing could have prepared me for the sight of those stumps. And there she is, Brenda, measuring angles and directing workers in her pristine tennis whites. All while I was miles away, too far to stop her from wrecking my family's heritage. My heart's racing, but I don't panic. I just pull out my phone and get to work. I'm not about to let this slide. I confront her. Of course, she's all smiles. Arthur, perfect timing, she says, like we're just chatting about the weather. No apology, no remorse, just a $500 offer to compensate for the destruction. I could have lost my cool, but I kept it together. I told her those trees weren't just trees, they were family history. She didn't care. She's talking about her view and property values like my family's legacy was just another landscaping hassle. But the thing is, she missed a detail, my road. The one that gave her and 46 other houses access to civilization. 3 days later, she escalates. I get a letter from the HOA demanding I take down a fence that's been standing since 1987. Apparently, my fence on my property was blocking her view and obstruction to her precious sightlines. It's insane. But I'm not backing down. So I go for the jugular. My road is blocked. I control the access. She can't have her view without it. But Brenda doesn't stop there. Violation after violation starts rolling in. My mailbox placement, my barn's paint job, even my chicken coop. It's like she's waging a war on every corner of my life. And when I install trail cameras to catch her in the act, I get the evidence that will change everything. Brenda's view consultants aren't just surveying, they're stealing land. I've got her on tape, moving survey markers, encroaching on my land to widen the road for her view. That's when I knew I had her. As a civil engineer, I'm no stranger to property laws, and what I found in the records was nothing short of a gold mine. My grandfather had granted the easement, but it was for one road width, a 20-foot road. Brenda's road was 24 feet wide, and they've been trespassing on my land for decades. It's illegal, and I'm about to make her regret every inch. So I take my findings to my lawyer, and Patricia Bellamy is blown away by the documentation I found. She tells me I can revoke their right to use the extra 4 feet anytime I want. So that's exactly what I do. I march over to Brenda's mansion, yes, in my boots, because I've got legal boots on the ground now, and I tell her she's been trespassing on my property for years. And then she threatens me. She warns me that if I don't cooperate, property taxes will change, zoning violations will appear, and life will get complicated. Well, Brenda, it's too late for that. The HOA's meeting to discuss my fence violations ends in chaos. Half the board resigns, and the residents who've had enough of Brenda start pushing back. Brenda escalates, and that's when I find her secret weapon, a federal lawsuit. But she made one huge mistake. Her view obsession triggered a federal investigation into her illegal land expansion. The 30 years of violations, her environmental fraud, all of it comes crashing down. When I find out she's trying to get the county to declare our neighborhood a scenic vista, I realize I've got the upper hand. She's trying to legitimize her theft. So I get ready for battle. And here's the twist: I have the ultimate weapon, my road. Fast forward to the ultimate showdown at the county commission hearing. It's Brenda versus the world. I've got proof. I've got the law on my side, and suddenly it's her view that's the problem. While Brenda thought she could control the landscape, I flipped the script. My gates go up, my road gets narrowed back to its original size, and now she's trapped in her own paradise. She's begging for access, and I'm the one holding the key. Every crossing, every vehicle, it all goes through me. Brenda's view, once so precious, is now worth nothing. But here's the real kicker. This whole ordeal didn't just teach Brenda a lesson, it changed the entire community. People who once sided with her now support the environmental initiative I pushed. And Brenda, her house is gone, sold at foreclosure. Her real estate license is revoked. She's facing federal charges, and her community is finally free from her tyranny. It's been 6 months since this all went down. I'm sitting on my porch watching the sunset, and I can finally breathe easy. The road's still mine, and my community, it's thriving. We've learned the value of protecting our heritage, something that no view could ever replace. And now I want to ask you something. How many of you are living on a road that someone else owns without even realizing it? How many of you are letting HOA rules run your life? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. It's time we take a stand for what's right, and maybe, just maybe, it's time we start fighting back in ways they never saw coming.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video. Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.